That's
That's
Michael.
Michael. What up, champ?
That's
What's up? What's up
Michael.
with y'all?
What's
My
go?
bad. I was working. The link wasn't working at first.
No, no problem, man. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing? How y'all doing?
I'm
Doing,
good, man.
doing pretty good.
I hate that we got to continuously get you on to talk about how boxing's doing you wrong, man. Are you in high spirits, or are you still, are you, how are you handling it? I don't even want to put words in your mouth.
I mean, I'm in good spirits, man. What happened Saturday, of course, it hurt, but you know what I'm saying. The one good thing about it was it happened on national TV and everybody seen it. You know what I mean? I mean, the world saw it. Actually, it's getting over. It done got over to the UK and to the. It's been it's circulated Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So people seen it. So that's the one good thing about it. If it would have happened before the broadcast, I would have been telling people about it, and people would have been like, "Oh, okay, never do say he got robbed." But we got about about a million witnesses to what happened to that fight.
Everybody, listen. Listen. First of all, I loved your movement in the fight. You had incredible movement, man. Your step back, back left hook. You hit him with when you knocked him down. Everything was working right. This, like you said, the only thing that you can feel good about is that millions of people saw this, and
Right.
millions of people know what they saw, man. I think that is a travesty, and I think that it's a crime, when you rob these young men and women of their moment. I think there's something that needs to be addressed a lot more because
All right, fam.
this is literally they're playing with your careers and lives, man, and it's upsetting. And I know that a lot of people are going to get behind you on this. I don't know what litigations or what route you're going to be taking on this, but maybe you could fill us in a little bit more. But I know you won, brother.
Man, thank you, thank you. I mean, right now I got my advisor and my promoter, Marshall Kaufman, my promoter, Mike Burrell, my advisor. They're both doing everything they can on their end. They're fighting for me. But gotta say thank you to everybody that posted about it and spoke up on it because that applied pressure to the WBA. Like, I got it. Y'all got to write. Y'all got to do something. Y'all got to right a wrong here. Y'all got to fix this. Other fighters have spoken out. People on Twitter. You guys. I mean, did interviews all yesterday. Everybody just talking about the fight. I didn't. I didn't even know I'd be the talk of boxing Twitter. I didn't know I'd do it this way. I thought it would be for doing something really, really incredible, but something really incredible, a really incredible travesty happened to me. So I guess that still counts.
Mm. Michael, how important was the sparring with Tank? Because I know you got him ready for the Barrios fight. How'd that help you for this fight? Did it prepare you at all? Or is just Tank on a different level and there's no comparison to your opponent?
Well, I mean, it helped, but it's not really a comparison to my opponent. I mean, it just it just helped, make me like really. It just helped with making me really shocked, and that was like this guy. He didn't hit as hard as Tank. His boxing IQ isn't as good as Tank's. It's just I've been preparing at a high level, and I mean I feel like that showed in the fight. On top of the sparring I got with Tank, I came home. I sparred guys like Eric Walker, George Rincon, a guy from the area, Trayvon Marshall. He'll be fighting September 5th. Shout out to him. Um, I just did a lot of sparring. So many people helped and getting me really sharp. There was one guy I gotta give a shout out to. His name's Anthony Rodriguez. He came up from Texas with George. Um, he had a style kind of similar, but this kid Anthony he's faster and more explosive. So it prepared me for it definitely prepared me for Gabriel Maestre's lunging in attempts to lunge in and stuff because really I felt like he was kind of flat footed. I forced him to I forced him out of his comfort zone. But just shout out to everybody that help with the sparring and everybody that helped me get ready for this fight.
Shout out to Javier Caputillo with the super chat, the trainer. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he says, Fox, keep up the good work, champ. And he put the trophy emoji there. So for me, man, we had Lou DiBella on yesterday, and obviously he felt very, strongly about the matter and spoke up on it. But this is now the second time for you, man. So I'm just like, how are you still going forward? Like, how is this not hindering you? I mean, even emotionally.
Well, I mean, I was upset. I got, I mean, after the fight, I mean, in the locker room, I sat there, broke down and everything, but you just keep pressing forward, man, because I mean, like I said, like my dad basically said, man, everybody seen what happened. We got witnesses. By the time I got back to the locker room, I had about 100 notifications from each social media and about 100 texts. You know what I mean? So, and just people just saying, man, robbery, y'all stuck that kid up, this and that. And then, but the biggest thing that helps me keep going, I've been telling people, like, right before I was as I was leaving the venue, lady ran over to me, tapped me on the shoulder. She was working on the broadcast. She was like, man, I've been looking for you for like a half hour. She said, man, Lennox Lewis called, like, this is after the broadcast ended. Said Lennox Lewis asked me to come find you. Like, he wants to talk to you. So we followed her all the way down to the green room. First thing I come to the door, first thing Lennox said, bro, they robbed you. He said, man, and I watched this fight, and I watched your two of your previous fights. He said, man, I see the progression, I see the growth, man. Don't let nobody don't let this break you, man. And he had his stories about the WBA. Joe Goosen chimed in and had his stories about the WBA. They both said, man, just keep on doing what you're doing, man. Your coach is doing you're looking great, and your coach is doing a great job. That lets me know, man. I'm on the right path, and I mean, you see how everybody else scored it. I mean, it's three judges that owe an explanation.
Definitely, man. How about the network executives? I mean, because now this is the second time this happens on Showtime. Do they come up to you and say, does Espinoza say anything? Does anybody in the network feel guilty?
I mean, it was on Fox, so I mean,
that's right. The first one was Showtime. I'm sorry. First one was Showtime.
But what I will say is, Al Bernstein watched the fight. He watched Showtime. He watched the fight, and he said it was a clear-cut robbery. So, I mean, these are guys that have been in boxing longer than I may have been alive. So, so if they're saying it, it's got to be some truth to it.
How do we change this? I mean, you as a fighter, we tried to go through this with Lou, and he didn't want to get too into details because I guess he's legitimately got a plan, and he's looking to maybe put that into play if he could get the right money. But as a fighter, what do you think boxing can do better so that this doesn't keep happening, not only to just you, but to other people, man?
I mean, that's a good question, man. I mean, the thing is, like good or bad, everybody has an agenda, and it's not necessarily that anybody's agenda is like designed to I think always rip people down. But if my goals don't run parallel to the goals of the powers that be, I mean, I'm not really sure. I'm 25. I've been a pro for 7 years, so I mean, I'm still learning this game. But I mean, change definitely needs to be made. I mean, we always talk about better judging and things like that, but I mean, what's that? There's no set criteria on judging. It's basically judging fights is basically opinionated. The three of us could watch a fight and have three different outlooks on it.
Mm-hmm.
Are any of us? I mean, if we all pick the same winner and have the same and have different scores, all right. Well, okay, we saw different things. You might have seen a closer fight or whatever, but we can all agree who won. But when you got three judges all pull for the other guy, and everybody else sees a clear loss, I mean, what can we say to them guys? We can ask them what were y'all watching? They'll just say they can just say, well, I saw that. That's the thing. There's no accountability. Like we don't nobody pulls these judges to the side.
What's the
Nobody
punishment, right?
Yeah, nobody interviews these judges and says, "What were you watching during this fight?" And then at least if they say, "Well, I saw this, this, and this," at least they got an explanation. Even if we don't agree to it, at least we can hear. At least we can hear. I mean, it'll help, and it'll help fighters in the future. I know, like, if this person's judging this, if this is the person judging my fight, I know what they're looking for. More aggression. Let me be more aggressive. Let me be this. Let me be that. We just got three. We got three judges. It's basically a blind pick. All you can do is bring the tools you got to the ring, and hope that they like it.
Yo, I'm looking at the end when I think Maestre's trainer was in front of you, kind of going like this.
Yeah.
And you said something to him. You was like, "Man, get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, I did. I'm normally quicker. But I was so blindsided about what happened that, you know, he wasn't even speaking English. I just knew whatever you saying, you can get the fuck out of here, bro. Whatever you saying is wrong, bro. And my thing is this: if you out here telling your man that he won, then you'll be the reason his career doesn't go much further.
This is true.
Let me ask you, man. How have you been handling the conspiracies, though? Because I mean, we got people, you know, digging up old tweets of this WBA judge. We find out that she's married to an executive in the WBA. Then we find out the fighter's like friends with someone in the WBA.
Nepotism to its core.
It just got like very soap opera-ish, like a huge conspiracy. So like, I don't know, how are you receiving all of that?
I mean, I'm seeing all the stuff like with all the well, especially like with the judge. You know, I seen that on Twitter. I saw that by the time I got back to the hotel, and you know, seeing that, you know, the comments she made about Michelle Obama and LeBron and all that, like, you know, you can't help but wonder, is she judging with blinders on? I really gotta wonder about that. I mean, as far as all the stuff with the other stuff with the WBA and conspiracies and everything, I haven't given much thought to it. All I know is what happened to me was very wrong. I can't speak on if a fix was in or not. Really, like, if you can talk to like I said, you can talk to Marshall, you can talk to Mykal. These guys have been in the fight game longer than I have, so you know, I know what the WBA did to me, and I know, and the world knows they're completely in the wrong for how this fight was judged. And if they had whatever extra agendas they had, I mean, it totally got in the way of a great outcome. A great outcome was taken from me and taken from the fans that were there and everybody watched on TV.
Bro, from your family, man. You guys are a fighting family. Like it sucks, man. I've known you guys now probably 10 years. This to see this happen twice to you, it's kind of not
upsetting,
kind of,
bro.
It's really wrong, man. It's insane, brother, that this is continuously happening in the sport. But to happen twice, that's like lightning striking twice, man. So now what do you do with the WBA? Do you continue to pay these sanctioning fees? Actually, forget that question. Strike that from the record. I've seen something about them trying to say, oh, we're going to enforce the rematch. Do you think it should be overturned and you'll fight him in the rematch? Or do you think like it's fair for them to put you in the rematch to do the same thing that you should have been given? Like,
hey, what happened?
Nah, man. I think the decision should be overturned. It was clear as day that I won that fight.
yes.
And I mean, if they overturn the decision and have us fight a rematch, I mean, okay, fine. I'm a competitor. I can beat you again. I can beat them worse. But you know, to have them enforce a rematch and have him be able to say he holds a victory over me, like that, it would be, that's not right. Y'all making me fight twice for what I would gain off of one outcome, what I was supposed to have off the first outcome. I gotta do it. I gotta do it twice now with no type of, you know what I'm saying, with no type of apology or nothing. Like I gotta just hold. I just gotta hold that L unjustly.
Yeah,
That L is forever on my that L is forever on my record. Even if I come back and beat him, then they'll probably ask for. They may or may not ask for another rematch. Now I got to fight this guy 3 times. That means my career doesn't move forward. I'm stuck in a cycle because I got robbed the first time.
Exactly.
And I mean, the thing is, I really don't think Maestre will fight me again. I seen comments saying he would and he deserves a rematch, this and that. But I mean, you saying what you supposed to say. You know, like he truly somebody has to sit down with him and tell him he didn't win that fight. I get people tweet me in Spanish talking about he didn't win that fight.
Nah, he did not win that
fight. So you
fight.
think his team ain't even keeping it real with him?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like y'all, like, come on, this dude's 34. He don't have a lot of time, and he don't have time to be getting lied to. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to tell him. I mean, really, his best bet is to take that belt and run for real. Try to fight and go try to fight somebody else and keep elevating. But all that's gonna happen is like he can show people in that fight. You can show people in that fight. Y'all tell me how many of the top welterweights or even the top contenders, not even the champions. How many of the top contenders, about second tier welterweights? How many you think he gonna beat? How many of them do you think he'll really beat fighting like that?
Nah, brother. You had him at the end of that jab.
Yeah.
I mean, the pace.
They tried to rush him, though. You know, that's what it is. I don't know why, but they tried to rush him. He doesn't have, you know, many, you know, professional fights to speak of. So all right, WBA, let's say they order just a different split. Like, oh, you know, we're sorry, Mykal, so we're going to do 60-40. Is the rematch worth it if they, you know, do something like that?
Yeah, if it's for more money, we can definitely talk then. I am a prize fighter. Yeah. So if there's more money involved, then I wouldn't take him for a rematch for the same money I got the first time. You know what I'm saying? Y'all paid me a fee to be y'all just paid me a fee to be a fall guy. We're not doing that. We're not doing that a second time.
For sure.
I gotta look after my investment.
Damn, man. So what is Kaufman telling you? Is there a plan? Are you guys going the political route and trying to put in petitions, or are you getting right back in the ring? Is he telling you to stay in shape because they're gonna find you something?
Well, as of right now, I mean, we haven't really looked at much else. We still dealing with this situation. I mean, I'm taking a week to you know, just to rest up and everything. Got to let the body heal after rigorous training camps and whatnot. But we haven't discussed much about fighting anyone else or anything. We're just letting this situation play out. Like I said, I'm letting him and Mike Burrell handle you know, the talks and everything, and we just got to see where we land after the dust settles.
Well, we got some questions here, obviously, from the people, man. I'm sure they all watched the fight and have a bunch to say. So we're gonna go to Cincinnati. Brandon, that says, if an opportunity against a bigger named opponent presented itself, would you take it, or I guess he meant, or are you dead set on getting the rematch and extracting revenge on your opponents?
He said on your ops.
Nah, I mean, like I said, I'm a prize fighter. If a big opportunity arises, I probably would take that. I mean, like I said, I already beat this dude. I already beat this dude handily. You know what I mean? So if a big opportunity arises, I can excel further than him. I can excel beyond him. So, you know, big opportunity, I'm going to take it.
Damn. Yo, the welterweight division, I mean, who do you want? Because you fighting at welterweight now. Like, This has definitely elevated you. I mean, you didn't get the win on paper, but you got the win.
Everybody's behind you.
This
on
happened
this
to
one,
Laura too. I don't know if you remember. This happened to Laura versus Paul Williams. Except
I watched that fight.
His judges got fired for that one. You know what I mean? Hopefully, I was telling Lou about that, and Lou said that that's not enough. So let's start with that question. I know I ramble a lot, but is it enough for you if the judges get fired and they can never work a fight again? Or do you still want more retribution from that?
I mean, the ultimate thing I probably really want is the decision overturned. But I mean, getting them fired would be good for boxing. You know what I'm saying? Judging like that was like, and that's the thing. Let me just say, everybody's talking about the one judge who had it really wide. Her score was terrible, but all those scores were terrible. None of those scores told the story of how that fight really went. That fight, all these judges basically said I knocked him down, and that was kind of all I did that fight. None of those judges got it right, but so I mean, those judges never judging again would definitely be good for the sport. But I mean, for me, that wouldn't do much. I'd just be a martyr. I'd just be the one that laid down on the sword. The judge with I think the decision should be overturned. And if like I said, overturn it. I beat that man. Like, I could have pulled the AB. I beat that boy.
I beat that boy.
But
I know you can
when I
do
say
it.
it, I
You
really
got
did.
you got the.
Nah, listen, I think that's it. Overturn. That whole rematch stuff and stuff like that. I mean, you made perfect sense, man. That'll just hold up your career to something that you already done and clearly done in the eyes of millions, man.
Let me ask you, this is like completely left field, conspiracy theorists. Everybody likes to assume that the Al's in control of Showtime and Fox. Has he called like, damn, Michael, I'm sorry this keeps happening to you? Because I know he ain't your advisor, but again, everybody just assumes he runs shit over there. So has anybody called from that Heyman boxing crew to just apologize?
Well, they talked to my advisor. No one called me. No one called me directly.
Mm-hmm.
They called my advisor. Actually, right after the fight, one of Al Heyman's guys called Mike Burrell, and he was saying we're gonna push for the rematch. That was terrible. That was just terrible. Like, that was the first thing they said. That was just terrible. And we're gonna push for that. We're gonna push for that rematch. And I mean, we'll see what all comes. We'll see what all comes of it. Like I said, but shout out to Al Heyman and Premier Boxing Champions for letting me fight on their platform. And shout out to the state of Minnesota. You heard them voice they disapproval with the scores with what happened to me. They booed, and then a lot of them left before the main event. They showed how unhappy they were, and I think Premier Boxing Champions probably seen that, like, yo, we can't have stuff like this happen on our cards. So
Right.
Everybody has a hand in this. Not a hand. Everybody has something to gain from like right and wrong.
Yeah.
We got Dan Middlemass who says, hey, Michael, from Newcastle, UK. Did you have any idea about the involvement that Maestre's corner man Marcelino Castillo has with the WBA before you fought at that weekend?
Nah, honestly, I can tell you when I came to that fight, I looked up the guy. I'm like, oh, he's from Venezuela or whatever. I'm from the States. I'm from Maryland, but we fight in the Midwest. We fight in Minnesota. I came in thinking,
there was no way you could get
about a 50-50 fight, level playing field, and all we had to do was both of us had to go in there and prove we were better than the other. All this stuff with the WBA that popped up on social media. I mean, all this stuff was just like stuff I didn't even consider. I came in there like, yo, I want to box. I'm gonna show I'm better than him, and then I'm gonna be walking out with that belt. You know what I'm saying? Right after the final bell, my team, everybody at the corner, like, yo, you did it, bro. You about to be a world champ. You going home a world champion. You know, I threw my hands up. You know, you could see who it looked like. You could see who felt like a winner that night, and you could see who didn't.
Yeah. The expression even at the end when they made the announcement of decision, like he didn't even seem like he was embracing it, like you were about to embrace it. I seen you with your hands up. You knew what you did, man. I mean, it gets me mad, man. It gets me so upset.
How'd your dad handle it, man? How'd your father handle it?
I mean, I think he wasn't happy, but you know, as the chief second, as a head coach, you know, he took it upon himself to be a leader in that moment, and you know, he made sure everybody on our end remained calm. You know, we everybody voiced our how unhappy we were about what just took place. You know, about what we had just heard, because what had took place was, you know, victory.
Let me tell you, your gentleman's reaction, bro. I mean, I know there's a million ways you could have reacted, and your whole team, you know, you speaking on it now, it was incredible the way you held your composure. I mean, a little get the fuck out of here is nothing. I mean, I probably would have went nuts.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you know, that probably crossed my mind, and actually, no, I just was frozen with disbelief. That was my reaction. You know, I couldn't throw nothing. I couldn't do anything because I was just so blindsided by hearing them by hearing Jimmy Lynn Jr. say Gabriel's name as the champion. So I'm just at that point. You can look at the video. I was stuck. Like,
listen, I'm looking at the video constantly right now.
Right, and then you know, I get out the ring. You know, the crowd, they like, yo, Fox, hey, you won that job. I think that kept me calm. I heard all the booing, I heard all the disapproval, and I realized I ain't even gotta do much. You know, I might need to clear the ring before they do all the damage.
Yeah, before you got out the ring, it looked like you wanted to get back in there and fight another 12, Chad.
Hey man, hey look,
you was like, yo, y'all crazy.
Exactly. I was so heated that I probably could have did another 12. Adrenaline was still up, you know.
Yo, look right now. There's somebody dabbing you up, holding your hand, saying like, yo, you won.
Right.
You won. You're walking out, and the people just dabbing you up.
Yeah, that's why, like, you know, as I was walking around, I shook a lot of people's hands, because, like, you know, y'all all seen this, and y'all made it very apparent that y'all didn't like what y'all saw. And after that, they said, you know, I had a couple friends there, and they were like, man, like about 100-something people left, Joe. After your fight, they were really not happy about that. You know,
wow.
So and I ain't even from there. They treated me like I was Jamal James.
No, serious. Like, you were getting mad love, man. You threw your hands up in the air again. It, like, if I didn't know what had just happened, I would say you won. You know, you're walking out hands up.
Yeah.
Wow.
We got Rue in New Orleans that says, what is your opinion about the alleged tweets? You already answered that. We got James in San Antonio says, Champ, I wish you much success in your future, but I want to ask you about what you feel Tank stepping up and fighting a welterweight. Keith Thurman said he would take it, but I also feel like Amir Khan is a viable opponent. Do you feel those are good fights for Tank?
I mean, I don't know. You know, with the power he had, going to 140 didn't seem too crazy. I got a lot of love for Tank. I've known Tank since I was about 9 years old. But I mean, like he always going to pack a punch. But these guys are taller, they're bigger, they can take a little more. I mean, truly, I think he should just stay. I think he should stay around between 130 and 140. That's where he can, you know, that's where he can reign supreme. You know, these guys, like, you know, they're like any matchups that you'll call for from 140 between 130 and 140. I'm probably picking Tank. But for him to go out to welterweight, I mean, it seems crazy. They thought it was crazy for him to go at 140. I didn't think so, but jumping to 47, just with my man with his height and everything, it could be it might not be the best thing for him. But if he would have called me to help him, I would help him again. I would definitely help him again. You know, but yeah, I think welterweight he don't need to be up there right now. Not right now.
Ellerby seems to think that he'll knock Keith Thurman the fudge out. That's what he that's what he tweeted. And then Tank saying, y'all must really think I'm Superman. So I you got his camp that believes it. Does Tank believe it? That's the question. Does he believe he can compete with these guys?
That's a question for Tank, man.
All
But
right.
Tank is very sharp. Like if you take Tank's skill set and his attributes and put it and put him in and weight classes didn't exist. If you could just if everybody just was like on a very very even playing field, if everybody was the same,
Sort of
weight,
like the pound for pound type of thing.
yeah, if everybody was like the same weight, you know what I'm saying, he would be at the top of that, somewhere at the top of that pound for pound list. Just and fighting these guys, but weight classes are for a reason.
How about Amir Khan? I mean, Amir Khan's been in there with some hard hitters. He's gotten knocked out by some hard punchers. Tank's a hard puncher. How does that fight go for you?
I mean, I might pick Tank by knockout. Man. I mean, I don't. He's been. I mean, you can't sprout a chin, especially after you taking some big shots. You can't really strengthen the chin. And I mean, I've seen Tank put out some guys that were walking around at about 160 pounds. I mean, even I sparring him, he packs so much of a wallop, and it's when he wants to, like, touch me, this don't touch me, this don't. Then all right, I'm gonna try to put him away with this one. Boom, man, that don't feel. I done been hit by him, and I felt like, oh shit, the lights somebody hit it.
The lights got dimmed a little bit.
Yeah, somebody hit a light switch, and I'm like, oh nah, that was my lights.
I'll touch on the next one. That's you got Coach Myers from Connecticut says, "Good morning, champ. If you could choose your next 3 opponents, who would they be and why?"
Well, like I said, I felt like I won the WBA title, so the next step would have been. I feel like the next step would have been the WBA champion. So first fight would have been Jamal James, for his regular title. The interim belt. I thought the interim belt would put me right in line to fight him. And then after that, Ugas is about to fight Fabian Maidana. I'm picking Ugas to win. My next choice at that would have been Ugas. And then I would have to wait until the dust settled between Pacquiao and Spence. If they don't got no mandatories, I would have tried to pick the winner of them. You know what I mean? And in that time, I'm winning championships as well as making good money for myself and putting myself in a better position. That would have been. I mean, that's off the. That's just off of what I felt was supposed to happen. So those 3 right there.
All right, you got Brandon Lenz says, how is it okay that Maestre's manager, Ned Abdul, with Warriors Boxing is the same guy who literally owns the Armory? Did you know that?
I heard about that, but I didn't know how true that was. But, I don't want to get into, really get into conspiracies. Like I basically went in there and I was never supposed to win. I mean, that could have something to do with it or not. I can't say for sure, but I mean, like I said, y'all can't keep doing favors for this guy. He's gonna fight somebody who has a bigger name than me, and all that BS they try to pull is not gonna work.
Can only work for so long. That was the last one from the Patreons. Ness, unless
which one you stopped on?
On Brandon Lenz.
You got Coach Myers too? Oh, okay.
I got Coach Myers.
Yeah, that is everything. Then we also got a super chat form by Bodywork Boxing. It says, "Hold your head up high, Fox. What do you say to people who say Tank can't box?"
I said that to mine. Look, I'm gonna tell you like this. Like, unless I told you, I've known Tank since I was 9 years old. He wasn't always that big puncher. He got older and he just started knocking people out eventually. But Tank as a kid, he was always athletic. And he was always very fast. He always had a good amount of pop for what a kid would have, but his ring IQ, he's not a dummy in that ring. He's hard to hit. When he showed that against Barrios, he's hard to hit. He throws with vicious intent, with a lot of power, and he and he's in that ring thinking. Y'all get confused because he knocks everybody out, but he's in that ring thinking. I sparred him for an entire camp. I fought him 3 times as a kid. You know, he's in that ring thinking. If you think Gervonta Tank Davis can't box, you are sorely mistaken. And I say that to anybody that says he can't box. You're sorely mistaken, and that's why whoever you're probably rooting against, or I mean, whoever you're probably coaching, won't beat that kid. If you don't respect his boxing ability and his boxing IQ, you're not going to beat Tank Davis because the power is the least of your words.
Let's go, champ. You feel me?
So I gotta ask then. So is it because you think Keith is a big puncher? Because you're a welterweight yourself, but you're saying I recommend Tank stay between 130, 140.
Well, I mean, Keith's a big puncher, but you know he hasn't been active in like a couple years. But there's also the height and what these guys will rehydrate up to, up to. Like, I don't know what Tank might get back to. Maybe if he tries the low 150s, but welterweights go back up to the 160s, sometimes the 170s. Depending on who it is and they
body physiology.
Yeah. So
what are you rehydrating up to now? Now that you allowing yourself to be a welterweight, what you rehydrating up to?
I don't even know if I should tell you this.
Oh, nah.
I was ready to say like,
keep a secret. Yeah. If it's an advantage, keep it a secret, champ.
Keep that in the pocket, champ. We just say you get bigger.
Yeah, I do. I look. I come to the weigh-in very skinny. I think that throw people off. I come back noticeably fuller. I'm a slim dude by nature. I'm naturally a slim dude, but I know how it feels to come back at a good weight. I know how it feels to come back at too low of a weight. I actually once fought long before TV and stuff came around. And I got sick during the rehydrating process. And I only put on like 8 pounds, and I could feel, and it felt terrible. But I said I got to stop it that fight, but I didn't feel good. I was like, man, I got to keep
sluggish.
Yeah, I got to keep the pace slow. If he explodes and I got to use too much energy, I might not come back from it. But I was just able to box him, nullify him, and then I stopped him. And I was glad that joint was done. I was like, man, thank God. That could have been a bad one. And then, but with each fight you learn. You got to watch what you eat and make sure you're not putting it back in too fast, and make sure that you might be accustomed to drinking a certain thing. Like you might be drinking Pedialyte. Make sure you drinking that same brand. Don't be just grabbing any old Pedialyte or whatever it might be. Whatever may be you use to rehydrate.
Devil's in the details, huh?
Yeah. Yes, great. Absolutely.
Got to be on point. Yeah, that rehydration is a science. It's an art.
Yes, sir.
I know some guys that they're pretty good at it, and man, it nothing feels better for a fighter when they make weight. That's one of the first fights you guys have. The heavyweights are the only guys really that don't really have to worry about that, but putting that weight back on the right way is so important. And I mean, again, I'll say about your performance in this fight. You looked fresh, man. You looked like you could go another 5 rounds. You looked very in shape. Again, for everybody listening, man, like if you didn't catch this fight and you're just now hearing about it, go watch the fight. Go comment on the PBC YouTube channel. Go comment on their Instagrams. Make sure that this thing gets overturned.
Yeah, man. Fox, I wanted to ask, do you think it's going to be harder to get fights now?
It could be. It definitely could be. I mean, one thing they saw the fight, and they could have been like, anybody that said hell no to me first, before that fight, they saw that fight and be like, dude, this is exactly why I told, or this is why the team. It's not fighters that turn the fights down. It's gonna be the team, but the team gonna be the manager gonna call the motive like, see, this is why I told you I didn't want Fox. And then they like, well, don't even worry about it. He lost. You know what I'm saying? They can say that now until we can unless we can get this overturned, then I have some leverage again. But people been saying no to me since the start of my career. So I think it's always gonna be hard for me to get fights. I took this one as I went in as a backup to get this one. I wasn't his first choice. It was me or don't fight. You know.
Well, brother, I want to thank you, man, for coming on the show. Always, allowing us to talk with you and conduct these interviews.
Hold on, wait. I got a question for you, Ness. I meant to ask you the last time. I think it was at the tank, the Barrios and Tank pay-per-view. Man, we didn't see what happened on camera. I want to know what all that screaming was about. It looked like you was about to fight somebody. why don't you tell the viewers?
Yo, this was Ness.
Yo, bro, my man smacked my camera and I was going ham on him. Then I found out he was a basketball player. I forgot what the name that they said, some James something. But I ain't give a fuck, bro. I'm from the East Coast. You ain't gonna just put your hands on me or my equipment, man.
I'm already hip. And you got, and my thing is Ness not a little guy. I seen Ness in person. He's like my height and like 100 more pounds than me.
My man.
So I'm like, okay.
My man had his lady was pulling him away. It was hilarious. But I'm glad it happened that way because Kelly would have never let me back. She'd have fired me forever. I'd have been banned forever. I'd have did something over there. So it was the best thing that happened. But yeah, man. My man smacked my camera. He got mad.
Oh yeah, you can't be doing that, man. Oh man, don't be like, no, please, no interviews.
Yo, that's where streets. It's like, hey, like you big for nothing.
Yo, nah, man. Michael, man, thank you for coming on and reminding everybody about that one.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Shout out to the Boxing Voice, man. Much love to y'all.
I appreciate you, brother. Give out that social media, man.
Hey, man, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Professor Mike. Mike with a Y. Professor right. MYKE. Follow me.
All right, brother. Thank you for coming on, man. We'll get you back on soon.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Fox.
Yo, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Entitled, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.